Welcome to Heal the New Sexy. My name is Cynthia. Today I wanted to talk about why high achieving and successful women may still be insecure. Yesterday, I think it was, I was watching this TikTok with Holly Berry, and she was saying, I wish that someone would say more to me that I'm beautiful, right? She was talking about how she wished she was seen, and it made me begin to think about you. If you're watching this video, there's a few things I know about you. I know you're highly successful, right? I know that you probably have at least a master's degree. You're between, your 30s and your let me say your mid 30s, your early 40s. I do have a few young ladies, so hey y'all, hey, right? I have some viewers that are in their 20s. And even if you're not successful as it relates to education, you may be a very good cook. You may have a restaurant. You learned in the kitchen with grandma. I'm in Atlanta, so Red Rice, the restaurant, just blew up. So that could be you too, right? Success doesn't really have to just do with education, but I know that women who are high achieving and highly successful are attracted to me, and that's the group of women that I work with, right? Women who are the strong friend, the one that you may not have a large support system, in that there's many people in your life, but there's not many people who you can share yourself with, that you can share your inner thoughts and your deepest feelings. Those are the women that I serve. So I want to talk about how one becomes insecure despite great success, and also something that you can begin doing today in order to address it. Okay, so it's quite easy for a woman to be insecure, right? A highly successful woman, it's easy for her to be insecure, and it probably dates back to your childhood. And what happened in your childhood is that you realized that you could receive affirmation through the things that you did versus you being who you are. Okay. And so what I mean by that is that you may have done very good in school, you may have done good in athletics, or any other types of gift that you have, you did very good, and that you were praised due to the things that you did well. I hope you don't hear that noise in the background. If you do, I apologize. And so growing up, you received a whole lot of affirmation and validation for what you did and not who you are. You maybe didn't have people speak life into you because of who you are, right? They didn't tell you how fantastic you were, or how great you were, or how worthy you were. They didn't speak to you about those things. They spoke to you about the things that you were good at. You're good at art, you're good at dance, you're good at math, whatever it was, you received the validation that you needed and desired and craved through that, right? For many of us, we learn to perform in school. So that's why I think a lot of Black women have a whole lot of degrees, because it's a place where we can, I'm going to say something, where we can be avoidant as it relates to the needs that we have for ourselves, but it's also a place where we can excel and be validated. So somewhere in your childhood, you probably learned that this is where people see you. And so you perform in that space. And so you continue to go higher, higher, higher in the ranks, whatever that is, whether that's entrepreneurship or that's corporate America, whatever that is, you just, got to be at the top. You are the boss. I remember being a director. I think my first director position, I don't even know if I was 25. I'm 36, right? I have a lot of leadership experience. I was a division coordinator in my early 30s. And that meant I had like 100+ employees under me. I know what it means to be highly successful and still struggle with worth just for your being, right? Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Okay, so let's talk about, how do I address this? You may say, Cynthia, how do I address that? How do I address the areas in which I'm insecure, whether it's how I speak, whether it's my body, whether it's my mental health? I just feel insecure, whether it's in relationship with others, whether it's when I see other women, I find myself comparing myself to them, even though I'm highly successful. So how do I address this? First of all, you have to, identify what that insecurity is. Do you feel insecure as it relates to other women? Do you feel insecure in your body? You have to identify what that insecurity is, because that's going to be where you begin to create a plan around it. And then secondly, you have to begin to emotionally process how you feel about yourself. And you have to identify the beliefs. This really has to do with your mindset, because I hope you know that you as a human being, not what you do, but who you are, you're worth it. Okay, you are worth it. You are worthy. Okay, you're worthy to take up the space. You are worthy. And it's not about what you do, it's about who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus didn't die on the cross for what you do, he died on the cross for who you are. Oh, that feels so good to me. I'm sorry. Right? Okay, boom. So you got to identify the insecurity. Then you have to look at the beliefs that you have connected to that insecurity. And you have to identify, did this belief come from me, or was this something that someone said to me? For instance, I grew up, I was always a mid-sized girly. Okay. When I was in high school, I had a baby. I had a baby till I was 27. But when I was in high school, I had a body like a grown woman. Okay. And I remember the summer before high school going to the doctor, and the doctor told me I was fat. It was a white woman. She told me I was fat. I never forget that day. And I remember internalizing that. I already struggled with my body because I could see how my body was different than the others. I grew up in the 99s and the 2000s. So everybody was wearing those mid-rise jeans. They were super skinny. And here I was with booty, breasts, and hips. And I go to the doctor and she says I'm fat and I need to lose weight. I internalized that and I carried that. And then sometimes in some spaces it made me feel insecure. Coupled that with growing up in a Pentecostal background, baby. And then being so many things being said about, you know, being modest and covering up, and you don't want your brother to fall, even though, what he looking over here for? Okay, but anywho, right? So boom, I have to address those beliefs. That belief, first of all, it's not true. Okay. Secondly, that was a belief given to me by somebody else. And then I reject that belief. And then I begin to affirm myself and validate myself. Because the truth of the matter is, this body is the body that God used and created and fashioned for me to show up in the earth. He didn't want me to be a size 2. Now, he wants me to be healthy, right? Above all things, that you prosper and be in good health. He wants me to be healthy. Okay. But he wants me to be thick, like a milkshake, like Dairy Queen, when they take that milkshake and they put it over like that. Okay. And I could be healthy like that. So whatever your insecurity is, identify it. Look at the beliefs connected to it, because our beliefs shape our behavior. Identify, where did this belief come from? Who was I when this belief was created? And then begin the process of emotionally processing and healing from what was said to you, or the whatever experience happened that created that insecurity in you. Was that insecurity created because of infidelity? You were in a marriage or you were in a relationship, and because you were so focused on whatever it was you were doing, your person said, well, because you're so busy, I cheated on you. And so now you struggle with your success. You struggle with being successful, but you also struggle with being in a relationship, and when you're in your relationships, you're seeking validation that it's okay for you to continue to excel. Things like that. Well, I thank you for watching another video. If you'd be so kind, I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you are a highly successful woman and there's some areas that you know that you desire to work on and heal, areas where you feel insecure. If anything, I want this to be a safe place for you. I want this to be a place where you can really share the things that you are struggling with, because I know 9 times out of 10, you may not have someone in your life that can be that safe place for you. So I want to let you know that I love you, and I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.